Gawin, and I founded together with my wife Brenda and our daughter NomadFamily. I've been here a year ago. There I met Nacho at co-working C. Made a lot of cool discussions. They also did a presentation there, which kind of resonated within the community there. So I'm gonna try to summarize what we did there. So what to share? I was like, what do we really need to share? So actually I asked Ruben, and Ruben said, well, how do you actually make your luggage into 8 kilograms? And how do you get to change places without stress, especially when you're traveling with a family? And so I'm trying to answer that today. So first a little bit about my background. This is Phonebox. It's a project which I did. Most people will probably know it. We had quite a social reach, 380 million people knowing what it is, so it's kind of nice. Turned into this, it's Google Ara. Unfortunately cancelled, but we had a lot of fun trying to build it. I also built this, the Wayback Machine from the Internet Archive. And now I'm a CTO at Teamily. I'm not going to tell you about that because I'll be here in an hour. So first I want to take you back to 2004, which I did this. Now the audio doesn't work.
Welcome to Digital Traffic.
So this was my second startup. It's called Digital Traffic. So what we did a high-end Flash website, which now looks crappy because I had to pull it from the same Internet Archive that I helped to build. But anyways, this was like my first big startup, which was quite successful. I did it for 4 years until I had a burnout. And I had a burnout because I just worked way too much. But it did teach me a lot of things. So one thing is that I failed personally. I really felt failed, depressed, and stuff like that. So actually I failed big time because I lost my company, I lost my relationship, and I lost myself. Then I started analyzing what I actually failed in. So I realized that I failed on several points. So one, my health. I gained 30 kilos, so it was 120 kilos. So that was really unhealthy, mainly because I ate every evening in restaurants. I also failed to adapt to change, because things were changing really fast. This was caused by the financial crisis, and I had a lot of banks that are my clients, and I really failed to change fast enough, and actually failed to balance all the things in my life. So I started a project called Mind, Body, Soul, which is only my personal thing, really to focus on these 3 things. Still an ongoing project. And my main goal was to become agile. So agile is that you can actually are flexible to adapt to change faster at that time. So then I started like researching about happiness, finding and trying to find happiness. So these are some things that I learned that really can help you improve your happiness. One is improve your sleep. So actually make sure you get a good night rest. Get outside, like really get outside, do things outside, like the hike we did. Just go out hiking and stuff like that. Start exercising. For me, what worked was doing sports again. I used to be a professional sports athlete when I was younger. So I started doing sports again. I did yoga and meditation. Helping others really sounds strange, but it really helps you. Showing gratitude. That's something that I did for granted, and I didn't think about it, but actually when you start actually showing gratitude to a lot of people, you get like a lot of positive things back. So that's also one. And spending time with friends and family. That's also a really important one. Because in the beginning I really stayed at home, was really depressed, and I didn't even want to go outside. The main thing is that you need to take action. I mean, you can stay there, nothing will happen. So you have to take action. You are the one that needs to change it. Go. So you have to take action like now. But there were some things that I had to learn along the way. So I had to learn to accept the situation where I was in, to accept like all the things that were happening. I also had to learn to forgive other people, but also myself. I also had to learn to express my feeling. I mean, I'm a man, most men probably have problems with this. But expressing your feelings to other people is sometimes really difficult. That's something I really had to learn. Yeah, that's your mic. Okay, and it's gonna go.
Zigging.
So one thing that I also needed to learn is to say no, and this was really a game changer for me because I really tried to please everybody all the time and always said yes, which actually was one of the reasons why I was so overworked. So I was learning to say no, and that's okay to say no. That was something I was really doing. Stop nagging about everything and stop complaining. It's an easy one, but yeah, it's really difficult to actually do it. And stop caring. Not about everything, but there are two things that you really need to stop caring about. One is what others think of you, because a lot of people kind of care about what other people think of you, but sometimes it really doesn't matter. I mean, the other thing is expectations. So stop caring about all the expectations that you think that other people might have of you, because it will drive you crazy. What does work is expectation management. That's when you sell somebody the other expectation and then live up to that expectation. That's the only thing you should care about. In the end, I found out that happiness is really a mindset. So it's something you can learn. Yeah, try it again.
Let's try it again. So the thing is, you actually can choose happiness. And that's the thing that after researching that for 8 years, actually I started traveling to sort of find happiness. Choosing happiness, it's really a mind thing. I mean, if you think you're happy, then you start... Okay, let's do it without. So, if you're thinking you're happy, your body will adapt to it, and you actually will become happy. I mean, if you're thinking all the time, I'm unhappy, then you will be unhappy. It's actually as easy as that. So yeah, one of the things that Ruben mentioned was dealing with stress. How do you deal with stress? So actually stress is an animal instinct. It's something that we did in the prehistoric times when there were like big lions like running after us, and that would raise our stress levels. So what happens is that your body suddenly like adjusts to it, and you're feeling stress and anxiety because you have like adrenaline pumping through your veins and stuff like that. And somehow in our normal day jobs and the things we do, that stress is still there, and it's still that animal instinct. So, for example, with traveling, a lot of people get stressed from this. This is what I call the TSA dance. TSA is like the American customs. And this is something that actually now I'm quite comfortable with. Because I prepare. I mean, I know what's in my backpack, I know how to do it in my backpack, I know what they want to do. For example, I have a pair of scissors, but they're no scissors, so they don't have a sharp angle. Things like that I know now, and I know I can take it. And sometimes say, you cannot take it, say, okay, look it up, I can take it, that's fine. But that's because I prepare. The other thing is, you need to practice it, because practice makes perfect. For example, with my daughter, we already flown like 21 times since she's born. And now it's really easy for us as a family to do it. And sometimes we know better what to do than actually the customs there, because we actually do it so often. The other thing I talked about, this is like the happiness part, the other one is getting more agile. And this is when I entered minimalism. So most people know the 100 things challenge, where you actually reduce everything you have until you have like 100 things. It was quite interesting for me to read all the blogs and people like, yeah, this is my camera bag. I'm going to get a camera bag that actually exists of 50 little things. So how do you actually count this? So then I was thinking, well, this doesn't work for me, I need another challenge. I started with a 10 kilogram, then 8, and now a 7 kilogram backpack challenge. Why 7 kilograms? If you're going to Asia and you want to do carry-on luggage, it's 7 kilos. So basically you're limited to 7 kilos because carry-on luggage is 7 kilos. Taking carry-on luggage also reduces a lot of stress for me because I don't have to wait, I lost my bag twice, it's like a lot of bullshit. So if you just only have a bag of 7 kilos, that kind of works, it makes it really easy for me. So yeah, how I did this, actually counting every gram. So yeah, seriously, getting a scale and actually putting everything on there. And I had a list of I think like 250 things. And then just started, what can I get out of there? And I first started with 15, then with 10 kilos. And then when you start traveling, you start realizing that there's a lot of stuff that you don't use. Or things that you bring that you can actually buy locally. So for example, shampoo and stuff like that, it's easy to buy here in the shop. Why the hell would I take it? So yeah, I really make this up. This is to show you that it's real. So these are our 2 bags. my pocket, but now I put it in my bag. That's like the 100 grams. So actually what we did, we achieved it for the whole family. So not only for me personally, but actually our whole family, with the 3 of us, are within like the 14 kilograms, which makes our traveling really easy. The thing is, you need to like really learn what your personal needs are. I mean, I can tell you what my list is and what I take, but it's different for everybody. I mean, what you want, maybe you want to have like a really fast MacBook Pro or whatever, and I have like a 12-inch slow MacBook, which works for me and for what I do. But it's just compromising. What do you want to take? So yeah. Just one more thing. So the interesting thing is when you start doing this, is that you realize that if you're flying to like a hot country, you need different stuff than when you're flying, for example, now to Oslo. So what I did is that I actually have like 3.5 kilograms that I wear, which are like my hiking boots and my normal trousers. That's what I use when flying, which actually enables me to go right into the snow. And I have the gear with me today, so if we want to decide we're going to go snowboarding, I have all my gear with me. I can go to minus 15 degrees Celsius and I'll be fine, because I can adapt to it. So it's really modular. I learned a lot from backpacking and hiking and how hikers do it. But actually that and kind of figuring out what you need. I mean, if you never go into the snow, you will probably won't need a Gore-Tex jacket or Gore-Tex socks and stuff like that. So just really figuring out for yourself what you need. The cool thing is, once you've done this trick and you master this, you can apply it to a lot of things. So you can apply it to your finance to get rid of your debt, to get rid of like subscriptions that you don't use and all the other things. Actually, you can apply it to basically everything. It's just a trick you can learn. So then there's the thing with friends. You can also minimize your friends. And actually, when you're traveling, this will happen. So if you look at the green circle, this is like all your friends before you start traveling. And the white one, that's like the friends you keep. Because there's one thing, maintaining friendships is really hard when traveling. So what you will probably notice is that the friends that you will keep are either like your closest best friends or people that actually travel themselves or traveled in the past or are interested in. And all the other people, they don't see you, so they don't care, they don't know who you are anymore. The cool thing is, if you had a great relationship and you come back, it just returns back to normal. At least that's my experience. So yeah, balance. This is a thing we talked about at the co-working a lot. These are like 5 juggling balls, and they're made from glass. So it's your friends, family, integrity, work, and your health. So the thing is, you need to balance these things. So this is like a juggling act. There's only one problem. The work thing is not from glass, and a lot of people think it's from glass. So if you would drop work, it's like a rubber ball. It would bounce right back. Maybe not as high. I mean, normally it would jump high, but it will bounce back. That means if you drop your work for a month, for a week, for a day even, you don't have to worry about it. Maybe if you're working for a boss, he will tell you it's the most important thing in your whole world. Of course it is for him. But actually you can drop it. You can drop it quite easily. And it won't harm you. You will get back. The other things, if you drop your health, it's tricky. I mean, I've done it. If you drop your friends and family especially is like tricky to do. Integrity is also one. Yeah, I know people that actually like really dropped like the whole family, like don't want to talk with the whole family. So integrity is also one. And originally it used to be spirit. So like your spiritual one that was involved, but I replaced it with integrity because I think integrity is like more breakable. It's the trust that you build in a relationship. So yeah, and then there's the family part, and that's the part I didn't discuss yet, but I have something very special here who can actually tell a lot more about that. There's the wrong button. That's okay. Yeah, there we go.
Hello, my name is Brenda, and this is our daughter, Elisa. She's almost 2 years old.
Speak up a little bit louder because audio is fading again.
Oh.
Yeah, but it's
Yeah.
There we go.
Okay, there we go. Yeah, this is our daughter Elisa. She's almost 2. And she has been a digital nomad since she was 3 months old. And yeah, I grew up in the countryside in a little town in the Netherlands. My parents, yeah, we're not travelers, so when I was younger, we never even crossed the border of the Netherlands. Yeah, good. Yeah, 5 years ago, I moved to the big city in Amsterdam, and from there, I slowly started to spread my wings and to discover other countries. And yeah, sorry for and I still practice in my English, so that's why I'm. Yeah, so but now we just came back from Asia and Australia, so that was quite a big step. But before we were at that stage, we had to take a step at a time, a small step, and so that was the 5 years. I think, yeah. Okay. When Elisa was born, we found out that yeah, that to be together as a family, we found out that it is a good idea, and not working to pay for childcare, and spending the most possible time together, and that was the reason we decided to become digital nomads. Personal development. Yeah, we learned a lot about traveling to every country, and especially Elisa. Yes, if you see, yeah, what her development made, she discovered different cultures and all that. Yeah. Yeah, I think you have to do.
Yeah, sure. So yeah, what we did is that we tried to put her in play groups. So everywhere we go, we travel slow. So we take it like for at least 2 weeks or a month to stay there, sometimes longer. We actually tried to put her in like local groups, actually connect with all the local children. So then we found out that there wasn't that much information on the internet about traveling as a family, especially when we started out. So for us, it was really like inventing the whole wheel. You can apply a lot of things of traveling, but not everything. So,
yeah, during a journey, we met other families who were facing the same challenges as we do. So we decided to found out NomadFamily, and it's a community for sharing experiences, to inspire and support every family who wants to do the same as we do, and also easily keeping in touch on the road. What we think, yeah, I think it's very supportive to do, yeah, to keeping in touch with each other.
So we're currently in private beta. So if you're thinking about starting a family, or you know a family that wants to join, please let us know. Basically, it's a platform for families to share things that goes a little bit further than Nomad list. So yeah, so that's what we're working on right now. Please send us a mail if you want to join. And because they're like all nomads, we have sort of a golden tip that you can apply to actually not only your family but also to your travel style. This is the way how we travel. We stay usually in houses like this, not almost for now, but usually we stay in things like this. So let's ask a question. Who would know how you actually get into houses like this and how much it costs? Yeah, great. So this is actually what we do. So this is in Australia. So what we do is we take care of somebody's house and their pets, and that's like the house sitting thing, which works for us really well, especially if you want to do long-term things, because it saves like thousands of euros for us in our costs. So actually there are a lot of house sitting websites, but there are also private communities. And if you want to get like into the really expensive homes, then you have to get into the really private communities, which is really hard to get in. You have to just know people that know people that know people. So, but for us, that really makes it like affordable to actually do this. So yeah, So that's Nomad Family. We're launching soon. Please email us if you want to know anything, or follow us on Twitter, Facebook, and all that other stuff. Okay.